Sairam, good morning dear children. Today I am taking class 6th Social Studies, chapter number 3, Prehistoric Society. So, before understanding what is history and the different periods of history, we will first understand the different stages of evolution among organisms and plants. The scientists say that the Earth was born 4,600 billion years ago. So we all will be very eager to know which was the first organism that came into existence on the planet Earth. So in order to make it easy, I have prepared a chart. So by seeing this chart, it will be very easy for you to understand. So this chart has 3 columns. The first column tells about the years in millions. The second column about the organism and the third column about plants. So some 4,000 to 2,000 million years ago, microorganisms came into existence. So what do you mean by micro? Micro means small organisms came to existence. Among that, the prokaryotes was the first bacteria that came into existence on the planet Earth. So the prokaryotes was a single-celled organism. It had only single cell, and it was capable of living even in the absence of oxygen. Even there is no oxygen, it was capable of living. And it used to get necessary energy and nutrition from the environment, from the surroundings. Environment means surroundings. So these prokaryotes, so the spelling of prokaryotes is Prokaryotes. So the prokaryotes was a single-celled bacteria which was capable of living without oxygen, and it used to get the necessary energy and nutrition from the existing environment, its existing surroundings. So that was the first bacteria that came into existence on the Earth planet. So, coming to plants, Lichen came into existence. So, what is a lichen? So, lichen is a very small plant with grey or yellow in color. So, it grows or it spreads over the surface of rocks and walls also. It bears no flowers. It has no flowers. So, lichen is a very small plant with grey or yellow in color. So, it spreads on the surface of walls and rocks, and it bears no flowers. Understood? So, you understood about the microorganism. So, I have given the example of a microorganism, that is prokaryotes, and lichen. I have explained what is lichen. And coming to 2,500 to 570 million years ago, Moleuses came into existence. So, what is Moleuses? It's a creature which has a soft body and it has a very hard outer shell. The body is very soft. That soft body is protected by a hard shell. So, this creature can live both on land and in water. Now, the example of Moleuses is snail. We have seen snail. You find lot of snails in the rainy season. So, its body will be very soft and that body is protected by a outer shell. Hard shell, that shell will be very hard. So even that shells will be used to make creative and decorative wall hangings, etc. And you can find number of shells when you visit a beach. I think you have visited beaches. So in beaches, you find number of different types of shells. So that shells can be used to make a decorative wall hangings, anything. Understood? And coming to algae. So what is algae? So algae is a plant which grows mainly in water. So algae is a small plant which grows mainly in water. And coming to 570 to 505 million years ago, fishes came into existence. So you all know the fishes live in water. They are also called as aquatic animals. So the examples of fishes are blue whales, sharks, dolphins, etc. And coming to 438 to 408 million years ago, insects came into existence. So can you tell me the examples of insects? So it means honeybee, lizard, then ants, flies, etc. And even the flying insect is included in the insects column. Flying insects, example, dragonfly, which flies. The insect which flies. Okay, then coming to plants on earth. So you can find the different plants which came into existence. And coming to 408 to 360 million years ago, amphibians came into existence. Now, what are amphibians? So amphibians are the animals that can live both in land and in water. For example, frog. Frog can live both in land and in water. So the amphibians came into existence. And in plants column, you find ferns and algae. So what are ferns? So ferns are the green plants which bears no flowers and it has a long thin leaves. So the ferns are the green plants which has a long thin leaves and it bears no flowers. Algae, I have explained, this is a plant which grows mainly in water. I think we have understood. See, from 4000 to 2500 million years ago, microorganism. Example, I have told you prokaryotes. The prokaryotes are the single-celled organism which are capable of living in the absence of oxygen and it gets nutrition and energy from the surroundings. Then lichen, I have told you, lichen is a plant which is green or which is grey or yellow in color. It spreads on the surface of walls and rocks and it bears no flowers. And I have told you Moleuse is a creature which has a soft body and it is covered by a hard shell. And algae. Algae is a type of plant which grows mainly in water. Coming to fishes, it's an aquatic animal because fishes live in water. Example, blue whale, sharks, dolphins, etc. And insects, honeybee, flies, mosquitoes, lizards comes under the category of insects. I have included the flying insect like dragonfly. And coming to plants, so you find number of plants on earth. And from 408 to 360 million years ago, you find amphibians. So amphibians are the animals or the creatures that can live both on land and in water. Example, frog. And ferns, I have told you, fern is a green plant. It bears no flowers. It has a long thin leaves. And algae, it grows plants which grows mainly in water. Now I am going to conclude this session. I will be back in few minutes.